Sheets here for HuntOnly.com's How to Be a Better Bow Hunter. Many of you, for the very first time, have begun thinking about going archery hunting. It is the fastest growing segment of the hunting community. Each year, more and more men, women, and children are taking up archery hunting than any other form in the entire industry. So it's my goal, through our 20-week video series, to help you become a better bow hunter. Now, before you purchase your very first bow, it's a pretty good idea to understand all the different components that go in today's modern compound bow. This week, I'm going to be featuring the Mathews Z7 Extreme. It's Mathews' 2011 flagship bow, and it's loaded with features that make it today's best bow. The first part of the bow that I want to talk about is the riser. Mathews uses a gridlock design, and what that gridlock design does is it allows the bow to be light at 3.8 pounds, and it also allows it to be extremely strong. On the Z7 Extreme, the riser height from top to bottom is 28 inches, which makes it extremely effective for shooting out of ground blinds and tree stands. Also, on our Mathews Z7 Extreme, we have a generous brace height. The brace height is the distance from the riser to the string. In general terms, the greater this distance, the more forgiving the bow is going to be. Shorter brace heights are less forgiving, although sometimes are faster. Standard on the Mathews Z7 Extreme is a zebra bowstring. Zebra bowstrings have won more competitions than all other bowstrings combined. There are several features on our Mathews Z7 Extreme that help it be extremely quiet. That quietness is achieved by dampening string vibration, and that is done through a series of 3 monkey tails that I have on my bow, as well as a modern dead-end string stop. Also on my bow is a wiggle worm, and that wiggle worm helps to increase the velocity of my arrow. Additional features on my Mathews Z7 Extreme include a G5 adjustable sight, as well as a G5 Meta Peak. Mathews Z7 Extreme comes standard with the SE5 composite limb system. These limbs are fed into Mathews limb turrets. The limb turret can be adjusted up or down 10 pounds to individually fit each shooter. Also mounted on my Mathews Z7 Extreme is a Quickie 4-hour quiver. Very simple, slides on and off, it's perfect, slides right in, locks in place, not going to go anywhere. Carry it to my tree stand. When I get to my tree stand, hoist it straight up in the tree. When I'm all settled, simply pop it off, hang it on the tree. Now I'm back to shooting without any extra weight on my bow. Also on the Mathews Z7 Extreme is a number of harmonic dampening devices. These devices, located throughout the bow as well as the sight, continue to help reduce sound and vibration, making this not only the fastest bow in the woods, but also one of the quietest. Folks, that wraps up our basic introduction to today's modern compound bow. Some things to think about, though, as you do head out to your local pro shop to get fitted properly. Regardless of whether you choose a Mathews or whether you choose another brand of bow, go to your local pro shop and get fitted properly. They're going to check your draw length. They're going to set you up with a bow that's appropriate to your draw weight, which is how much poundage you can pull back on your bow. They're also going to get you into a bow that is designed to fit your budget and your hunting needs. Next up on How to Be a Better Bow Hunter, we're going to take a look at some basic maintenance techniques on how to make this bow last as long as possible.
The new Covert CX2 crossbow from Carbon Express is like no other. With its revolutionary BioSync 3 design, it's not just a well-balanced crossbow, it's a system integrating body, bow, and bolt, creating a feeling that can only be described as second nature, perfectly balancing hunter and weapon. Experience the Covert CX2 crossbow today. Shoot better, Carbon Express.
Hi folks, Steve Sheets here with HuntOnly.com's How to Be a Better Bow Hunter. Now that you've gone to the pro shop, you've purchased your first bow, it's perfectly fit and tuned to your body, now it's time to do some maintenance, some pre-season maintenance. And this is true for whether you're taking your bow off the shelf for the first time in 6 months or whether you're bringing a bow home from the pro shop. There are some things that you simply must do every 6 months, every 3 months to make sure that your bow stays in tip-top shape. The first thing I do, and I do this every time before I go out on a hunt, is I check all the bolts that are in my bow. I take 5 minutes, I take my Allen wrench, I go back over my bow, and I make sure they're all tight. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen guys' hunting trips ruined because they didn't take 5 minutes to simply inspect their bow and make sure that all those bolts are locked down real tight. The next thing that every hunter should do is get yourself some totally odorless oil. Dead Downwind makes a high quality product line. They're awesome, they're enzyme based, and they're not going to bring any new smells into the woods. Okay, for me, I simply take my little spray bottle here, and I'm going to spray in my wheel cams top and bottom. Okay? And really that's it. I mean, that's really the only parts of your bow that you have to oil at all. You just spray it on there, it's going to soak in. Okay, it's going to make all the difference in the world in the woods. You know, far too often I hear about guys, oh, they drew back their bow and all of a sudden there was a loud squeak. Well, had they taken a minute and simply sprayed down their cams, that never would have happened. Now, the next trick is waxing your bowstring. Okay, too many people have no idea, number one, how to do it, or they just don't bother to do it, and it costs them big time. You know, this zebra bowstring on my Mathews Z7, it's going to cost me $150 to have that replaced. However, if I take just a couple of minutes, wax my bowstring, it'll last 3 or 4 seasons. And it's real simple. You simply take your wax, again, I'm using a Dead Downwind product, totally odorless, and I'm simply going to wipe it on my strings. I'm going to go up around my wheel cam. Okay, I'm totally going to hit everything here. Going to get all my strings real good. Then I just simply take my fingers and I rub it in. And I want to make sure that I do a really good job of rubbing that wax down into the string so it's working its way in there real solid. Okay, I like to do half a bow at a time. First I'll work on the top half. Got that done. Then I'll take some more of my wax. Okay, just like your old chapstick. Simply take it again. You know, get it on there real good. Hit your cams real good on all the different sides. Okay, then I'm just simply going to take my fingers again, I'm going to rub it in there. Okay, and what we're doing is we're creating a healthy string. Okay, it's just like your hair needs conditioner, so does your strings. Okay, once you've got it rubbed in there really well, what you want to do, take a hair dryer, preferably not your wife's good one. Okay, but take a hair dryer and start melting that wax a little bit. Okay, and you'll see it'll start to glisten. That's when you know you've got it just right. Okay, as that wax begins to glisten, you just want to take your hands again and simply rub it in there real good. Help it get down into the inside of that string. Folks, that's it. It's that simple. If you do those 3 simple things, you know, check your nuts, check your bolts, make sure they're all locked down real tight. Take some time, take 10 seconds, put some cam oil on both of your cams, make sure it gets a chance to work its way in there. If there's any excess, just simply wipe it off with a cloth. However, if you use a Dead Downwind product, you don't even have to worry about it because it's completely odorless. Next thing, wax your strings. You wax your strings, it's money in the bank. Going to help that string last a lot longer than just 1 season. So that's it, folks. I'll see you next week with How to Be a Better Bow Hunter by Dead Downwind. Hi folks, Steve Sheets here with Dead Downwind Products Scent Tip of the Week. Archeries value scent control more than any other hunters in the woods. They have to. If they want to get living room close, I mean dining room close, they're going to have to be 100% scent free. The only way to do that is with enzyme-based products. You've got to go undetected in the woods. Things like earth scent, pine scent, and other cover scents, they just don't work. They introduce new smells into the environment, which puts the big game animals, especially those whitetails, on high alert. This is especially true when we're talking about big, mature animals. Over time, they build up a memory bank of predator cues, which are sensory signals which are used to identify experiences, facilitate memory, or organize responses to different things in their environment. And introducing chemical-based odors are more likely to set off alarms than to aid in concealment. And that is your Dead Downwind Products tip of the week.